Good evening and welcome to Girlfriend Minute. I am Shar.
And I'm Pascal.
How are you this evening, Pascal?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good, thank you.
Good.
How was work? Or how
Work
was work?
work is good. I'm a little bit slow today. It's Sunday. It's pretty cold outside, so um winter's around the corner. But I
Yeah.
can smell it in the air actually. When you get that sense of smelling snow, I smell that.
hmm Well, it's like
So,
when you start to smell rain here, right?
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
hmm
Yep.
Yeah.
How was your day? What did you end up doing today?
Well, I have not done bacon Sunday, and so some people are not happy with me. When I say people, it's the four-legged people. I got up. Had to set my alarm to get up at 8:30 because I was tired from last night. But my old neighbor came and picked me up, and we went to, I believe it's called Christmas Under the Oaks, and
Oh, how
it's
fun.
just a bunch of vendors. There's some food trucks there, and crafts and stuff they're selling, their business, and she wanted to go, and she asked me to go, and I hadn't seen her in a little over a year, and we've been friends a long time. So we went and spent the afternoon, and then went and had lunch together. And then she brought me home, so it was nice. It's warm out. I mean, you're sitting there in a sweater jacket thing, and we had the AC on, and we're like, oh my God, so we're sweating.
I know, and I'm not sweating by any means. My toes are cold. So, yes.
So we had a
Yeah.
good time. It was a lot of fun, and it was, I haven't done one of those in years, so
Oh, well,
um,
that's
it,
good.
it was nice to get out. I didn't buy a single thing, and so I was proud of myself. And so yeah, that's about it. Been home since and finishing up laundry and getting stuff ready for the work week. And, the fun stuff.
All the good stuff. Yeah, I have
All
off
the good
tomorrow,
stuff.
so yay.
You gonna book a facial?
No, not tomorrow because I have to do that in advance because I already have an appointment with my father coming up soon, so I didn't want to do that and then I'll have to cancel and all that stuff. He's getting a
Yeah,
procedure done on Tuesday, so we have to make sure everything is open until that's completely done.
gotcha. So how
Yeah,
is he
but
doing?
he's doing good.
Yeah,
He's getting
that's
by
good.
and he's doing good. He's just getting older. My dad is like 86, so he's pretty up
Yeah,
there. But considering he's 86, he still moves around really well and he's got a good head on his shoulders and he's doing great.
that's excellent. That's excellent. No, aging is not for the faint of heart. That's for sure.
No, that's definitely not.
No, so I
No.
hear you. So
Yeah. Yeah, but that's it. I mean, nothing else new here, same old stuff, different day.
pretty much,
But
pretty
I'm glad
much.
you got to
Yeah.
be adventurous today and go out to your little Christmas thing.
Out.
So that's fun.
Yeah. It's nice to get out a little bit and enjoy the sunshine. And my jet skis were just returned to me last week, so I'm trying to plot. I cannot miss work this week, but I'm trying to plot a day that I can take off PTO the following week and just go riding. It's because the weather will be changing. I won't ride, and they had my skis for about 6 weeks.
Oh,
So I was at
wow,
work
that's a
the other
long
day.
time.
It was a long time. The service is very slow, and I was not happy, and they were apologetic. And I think this is the second owner. It used to be called Barney's, and then it was Rockstar, Power Sport. I don't know, but back in the day, for many many years, it was Barney's. So it's where all my skis came from in the past. I'm not real happy with them. Every time they've had them 4 weeks to five, and this was the longest. And they're brand new, so they shouldn't be at all. But there are some things that I haven't been happy with, and so
Well, yeah, I
you
was
know,
going to ask you that. Like, you just got them. Why are they in there all the time?
I picked them up at the end of January last 2023. So the one seems to be kind of the lemon of the family, and I've never had one ever have any issues ever in all the years riding. So um, it just you go clean them, wash them. I take them apart. I take the seats off and wash them down and stuff. And there was water in the engine compartment, which is a bad thing of the one.
Right.
And I'm like, huh. And it was just a little bit of water. I thought, okay, well, maybe the plug wasn't in well. It has two plugs in the back. And I always screw them in really well, but I'm like, maybe one's off. I don't know, could happen. So, and then the next time took it out, there was water in there again. But by the third time, pumped out over 6 gallons of water in the engine compartment, brand new engine. And I'm like, I called the
Mm,
guy, because I'm a girl, he's like, blah, blah, blah. I said, I want to understand something. My brother was a marine engineer and I could navigate 50 miles offshore by age 10. So I'm telling you now, you need to come get these skis because they have to pick them up and bring them back to me. And I have had skis, Ski brand, for over 20 years, on and off through the
yeah.
years, and never had a problem. And I took pictures and they were like, oh, yeah, like, oh. So there was a leak around the intake of the brand new ski. And I said, so what's this going to do for warranty issues and stuff? Because that's a new engine. That's salt water, by the way. And granted, it's only in there for a few hours because what's happening at the time it's being ridden. It didn't
Yeah,
slow it down any. Those suckers 60. It doesn't slow them down. Well, you've been on them.
I have, and they were
So
great.
yeah, so that took the first repair. The second time, what was it the second time? I don't even remember. This time there was bubbling the gel coat of the same ski in the footwell. And I've never had that happen. They said that happened to a few skis this year. So I went to the shop, they refinished, put new mats on it. It bubbled again. They said, nope, got to do it. We didn't do something right. And here we are.
And
It
it's
looks good.
the same one, the same
The
ski.
same ski.
So why
It
can't they
looks
just
good.
replace it for you and get you another one?
Well, because when I ordered them, it was June and they weren't ready until January because they're made for each person each year. So they just have it to swap out. So they're already making and taking orders and have been for 2024. You can't walk in. When I walked in, I actually ended up walking out with the seat. And they're like, no, it doesn't work like that anymore. You have to, order them and then you're waiting until the new year. I was like, oh, and I went in June. So
Oh,
I put a deposit down, 500 on each one, and waited until after the holidays. The call, they're here and everything's been put on them. Their speakers have been put on them, and everything's on them, and they're on the trailer and they're ready to go. We just need your money. So yeah,
okay, yeah.
so I have I told them, I said, like, I have a lemon, and they don't say anything, but they know that I know. So we
Yeah,
will
they're
see.
not talking to someone who doesn't understand or doesn't know what's going on with that
No,
stuff.
I
So,
I grew up at this with all this stuff, so I'm just like, no, no. So, they've
well,
been real
that's good to know. I
apologetic.
mean, it's not like buying a car, you go to the car
No,
lot and you're like, "Hey, I would like this car," and then drive off the same night with the
yeah,
car. But
yeah, it doesn't work like that with these anymore. And then, the battery went in it, and they're like, it wasn't holding a charge. I'm like, I always put a trickle charger on them to make sure they're topped off before I take them out.
yeah,
And and all that stuff because they don't have alternators. They're not like cars. So, I can put a trickle charger on the one and move it to the other one, and then the other one won't start. But the one always starts, whether I put a trickle charger on it or not. So they're like,
right.
well, the batteries don't last anymore. Well, I've heard that about car batteries from my mechanic for years, and I know Florida heat, blah, 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 blah. But these are brand new. I picked them up the last weekend in January of 23. They
Right.
have low hours on them, like 20 some hours. I haven't spent that much time on them. So
Yeah, that's
I'm
not
like,
fair. I mean, they
and when
need to
you've
do
had it a
something.
month here and a month here, and then 6 weeks here, you cannot tell me. Anyways, so I was all excited when the green camera chimed, and I looked, and I'm like, oh, my skis are here.
Yay.
They're home.
No, that's exciting because I really had a great time when I was on the skis with you guys when I visited in the summertime. It was so much fun. Like I used to do it over here in Maryland because Maryland is about, I don't know, Ocean City, Maryland, I should say. It's about 3.5, maybe 4 hours away from where I live in Harrisburg. And
Hmm.
so it's the first time I got on the skis, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, that's it. Like, this is so much fun. Every time I go down there now, it's like I have to get on, the skis. But I really had a great time with you guys because, it was the four of us. and we
Yeah.
we took
That's for
food with,
girls. Yeah.
yeah, and it was so much fun.
It was. And Danielle was so worried. She's like, no, I didn't want to go too fast with her on the back. I'm like, oh, so hold on. It's fine. She's got a jacket on.
Yeah. Yeah.
All good. We turn around and grab her.
No, it was fine. She was up, she was riding really good, but the waves
Yeah.
is what she was
Yeah.
concerned about a little bit
Yeah.
because I probably could have lost it. Plus the bouncing. Oh my God.
They
It's
do
fun to
bounce.
bounce. However, because I
Not at
had
the back.
fallen, well,
Yeah.
it's okay though, but because I had fallen and my on my tailbone, I had fallen
Yeah.
that week and my tailbone was like, oh, taking a toll, but it was okay. I survived and I pushed through and it was about the fun. I didn't care about my tailbone. Maybe I'll grow another one. Who knows?
Yeah, we made our snackle boxes and we went
Hmm.
out there for the day and we anchored. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had a
Yeah,
good
it was
time.
great.
Haven't done it since. I usually go riding and I go out. I launch at the Park Boulevard ramp where we launched, and then I
Yeah.
ride out the pass we rode out, but then I circle sometimes south and I come back in John's Pass and I
Okay.
make a
Yeah.
complete heap circle. So,
No, you
yeah.
definitely know where you're going because I'm like, where are we right now? Because
Well,
I
I
have no
always grew up
idea how
going
to
out
get
those
back.
bridges. Yeah, I do. I do want to get back. I do. I know my way.
Yeah.
That's my playground. That was where I spent my weekend. So it was my
Very nice.
playground. So I know. So yeah. So it was a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
so we'll see. I'm plotting and planning. I may be out on Thanksgiving morning early.
Okay,
And
there
I
you
told
go.
Danielle, I need a day where you're home that I can play hooky. I can't play hooky this week because two of my department all week. So
Yeah.
I have to show up every day unless I'm on my deathbed. So it's that.
Bummer. Bummer.
I know. I could call in sick and pretend to be on
Yeah.
my bed. I would feel horrible. I would feel guilty. I would just, the
Yeah.
guilt would kill me. So
Yeah. It's
I'm
okay.
wired that way. I don't do that. So
Well,
yeah.
you guys, when does the temperature change down there? Like in about a month, it starts going.
I would imagine the water temperature has dropped a few
Hmm.
degrees already. I looked the other day at nighttime and it was mid to lower 70s, the Gulf. So the sun's out and shining, that makes a big difference. So
Oh, yeah,
that's kind of what I'm
definitely.
looking for. Yeah, I mean, I'll
Okay,
ride in the
well, good.
rain. I don't care, but it's when it gets cold, I might care.
Well, there you go. Hopefully, the following week you'll find a little bit of time to be able to do that.
Um,
So good.
so yeah. So
Yeah,
other than that,
yeah. So
you know,
what do we have for our question this week?
I posted if you could go back and give your 18-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Don't grow up. No, I'm just kidding. I know that's not reality,
It's
but
overrated.
yeah, but that's really something that I would be like, oh my God, stop trying to be an adult.
I know.
Yeah,
I
because
know.
when
It's
you're an
really hard
adult,
to say one piece.
it is. Yeah,
Yeah. Go
yeah,
on. When you're an
yeah.
adult.
Yeah, when you're an adult, it's like, you have so much responsibility to do this and do that. And it's a lot. You don't realize it when you're young. I mean, yeah, you see your parents are doing it, right? But then it's like you don't feel it until you're actually put in that position. And once you're put in that position and you're like, "Oh my God, I just want to go back and be a teenager again."
Right? I mean, you don't realize what's all involved in doing the stuff you just saw them do. Yeah.
Exactly.
The
Yeah.
maintenance of everything
Yeah, well, my
and all that.
mom, she always told me, and my father, they always said, don't grow up so fast. Don't wish you want to be, an adult that fast, because when you are an
Yeah.
adult, you're gonna say you want to be a child again, and she was
Right.
absolutely 100% correct. So,
Don't wish away your childhood.
yeah, no, don't wish away your childhood. That's
You know.
one advice I would give myself, my
Um, I
18-year-old
hear you.
self. So,
Well, a lot of these also tend to circle back to one another. They're all connected.
they
Every little
are.
topic we do, and then we end up getting off topic because we chat about everything. So it's just kind of how we are.
Yeah.
So yeah. So and what I noticed too, on our app that tracks our podcast and which ones are listened to the most, they're the ones about relationships. They have the
Yeah.
most downloads from day one. the
Really?
neighbors, and I find that interesting by a lot. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I
that
don't
is
have downloads in
interesting.
double digits, but some of them are really up there. So,
Well,
yeah, it's interesting.
it seems like it's on the forefront, relationships, everybody has them. So we all have that in common. Um, Learning to navigate through each and every single one differently because each one deserves a different type of navigation. So that's the hard part. And but we learn and we live and we try to get through it as best as we can. So
Yeah, that's all you can do. So, one of the comments, one of the first comments is actually made to my nephew. She wrote, "Never get involved with someone who has a had drug and alcohol problems."
okay, yeah.
And that's then and I get where she's coming from, because in the sense that you're now living with this person, you're married to this person, you had a family with this person, and it's an everyday battle. And for me, if it was me, every day you walked out the door, I would wonder, how trustworthy are you being in your sobriety? You know,
Yeah,
'Cause
that's true.
a lot do slip and fall. It doesn't mean they don't get back on the horse. Some do, some don't, but it's very stressful on top of just everything else.
It is. It's very stressful on both ends. I mean, I can imagine the person who is addicted. I mean, that's got to be a stressful time or period that those people go through, wondering why they're addicted or how they even got there. Drugs are addicting in general, so whether they're prescription or whether they are injections or snorting or whatever it is, they're all addicting, or even just cigarette smoking. It's all addicting.
Hmm. It is
So,
addicting.
but yeah, but the person who is sober, it plays a bigger toll on them for sure. Because the
Yeah.
other person is basically just, has tapped out, tapped out of life for that moment in time.
Well, they are in that situation and they can't control what the one person does. Whether that
Hmm.
person decides to stay clean or not that day can totally affect everyone in that family forever.
Oh,
It's
definitely.
it's a day-to-day thing.
Definitely.
I was always very clear that I would not be with someone who had a drinking problem, because as a child, I did not have an option. With my dad being an alcoholic, I had no say. I was the child. But as an adult, I definitely do. And that was
Sure.
one thing I decided at a young age, is I am not doing this the rest of my life.
Right. Yeah.
I'll live in a box
Yeah.
on the side of the road before I do this. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you've lived it. You
Yeah.
know exactly what, it entails. So,
So, a few people posted, finish your degree. Well, if that was your path and that's what you wanted to do, and you started it and then you put it on the back burner for whatever reason, finances, life situations, whatever the reason is, and you decide that that is a goal you want to check off your list for yourself later in life, you can. I've heard some people say it's harder to go back to school later in life. I heard some people say they were definitely more prepared and did better later in life in school because they were more mature. So I've heard both sides of the coin, so to speak.
well, I can tell you, speaking from my end, I did go back to school too, and I did get my bachelor's degree in accounting after I had gone through school when my daughter was, younger, and when I was 19. And I did the whole college thing. Um, and I will tell you, you are more focused when you're older. You know that you have to get this done. You know that it's something that you must do. And I think the knowledge that you obtain is more validated because maybe you understand it a lot better.
Hmm.
So no matter what your age is, you can always go back to school. I mean, I did it in my 40s. Come on. So you can do it.
Yeah.
You could
I
be
mean,
80 and do it if that's what you want.
yeah, I understand what she's saying. Um, I know a young girl who works with me who said, I wish I had finished. She wanted to be a vet tech and she had finished it. And I guess her family doesn't have money to help her. And I don't really know all of the story, but I said, well, now's the time. You're 24. So,
Go for it. Yeah.
go for it, get it done if that's what you want to do. So, Everyone has their different reasoning in situations and whatnot that come up. So you never know. But I definitely would probably, if I had gone back to school, I'd do it later in life as I would be more serious about it. Like you
Yeah.
said, get it done, different
Yeah.
focus. It's just different.
It is. It's different all the way around.
Yeah. Someone else posted, put $1,000 in a non-retirement mutual fund and watch it grow.
Yes, that's a great thing. I was never
Hmm.
taught to save for my retirement ever.
And
I
the
was,
person who did posted that said that's the same situation, was never taught to yeah,
yeah,
save for retirement.
yeah. And I know, growing up and everything, I know. And then when you go to work and stuff, it just the jobs that I had and I went through, it was like a struggle sometimes, especially because I was a single mom and having to try to save all your money because your child needs it for something or
Hmm.
you need food, they need clothes. It's a lot. It's a lot to do, but yeah, definitely if I had learned that I could put some money aside, I would
Hmm.
have done it for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. It's one of those things you learn later sometimes. Um, then someone else just posted drugs aren't worth it, which we already kind of talked about.
Yeah.
They aren't. It's money. It ruins your health. It ruins your family. It ruins everything around you. No good comes from it as the addiction grows.
Correct.
Um, and then the certain people do well with sobriety and handle it well. I know a guy who's 20 something years sober and he posts a chip every time he gets one. It's important to him. One drink totally ruins that 20 something years of work, and then usually they give up that vice, they get a different vice. I know a guy who hoards now, but
Yeah,
he's
well,
sober,
but
but he
he's
has,
sober. Yeah.
do you need 10, edgers and 5 lawnmowers and 20 brooms and yeah, yeah, I mean he does. They usually give up one vice for another,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's very hard. The one that said don't ever get involved with someone who's had drug and alcohol problems, he is a rare example where he got sober. He's a nephew, and he was a long road getting to where he is. He can't believe he wasted half of his life. And then but he did it all. He smoked, did drugs, and drank all at the same time. And now he does none of it.
Yeah. Oh,
He,
that's great.
that way you just give up all those vices and you totally walk away, and none of that is controlling your life. And that was kind of his theory. And so if you're going to be sober, do it all the way.
Yeah, you have to do it all the way. You can't do it halfway. You can't say I'm going to do this it's like cigarette smoking.
Yeah.
You can't like take out 5 cigarettes and say, "Okay, I'm going to do this for 1 week and that's it." And no, you have to just stop cold turkey. That's
You
it.
have to
You have to
just
get rid
totally
of it.
stop. You have to
Yeah.
walk away from it, and none of this is a part of my life. None of this is going to control me. I'm not going to smell like an ashtray and everything else, and I'm not going to spend the money. You have to walk
That's the
away from
thing. It's a
it.
control issue.
It is a control. They have that addictive personality trait. And so he's just like, I just wanted it all out of my life. I didn't want to have that cigarette. I didn't want to have that drink anymore or pop that pill anymore.
Right.
He got rid of it all, you
Yeah.
know, and it
And
wasn't
then
an easy road, and he has stumbled a few times. So,
oh well, yeah, I'm sure it's a learning experience because
yeah,
you go from doing all of this to basically nothing.
yeah.
So it's definitely a learning experience. But yeah, all the time that he wasted in his life where he could have been doing something or whatever,
Hmm.
I'm sure he has regret about that. But thankfully he is sober
Hmm.
and he can try and accomplish those things that maybe he had in his head that he didn't.
He's actually doing really well.
That's good.
I
That's
mean,
very
really
good.
well. Yeah.
That's
He,
very good.
he owns rental properties now, and he's doing all kinds of stuff. So he's
See,
happy.
look at the potential.
I
Look at the
know,
potential.
I know. He directed all
Yeah.
that energy in other places, and
The, and
there you go.
he went and got him.
He went and got him. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
Someone else posted, don't think that it could not or could happen to you. Don't think it can't happen to you, is what they wrote. That's true. Anything can happen to you. You're not in
Yeah.
control of everything.
No, you're definitely not.
you know,
Even though we do think sometimes we are, but most of
or
the
try to
time,
be.
or try to be, yeah.
Yeah.
But most of
Yeah.
the time, no, you're right. We're not. Anything could happen. I mean, you could walk out the door and never come back the one day. You can walk out the door and come back a millionaire. You have no idea
Yeah, that's
what's
never
going.
happened for me, by the way.
Well, it's happened to some. It's never happened to me either, but
It's
I'm still wishful.
yeah, right. Yeah, everyone's like, what is it? It's like for as much as I fantasize about like being a millionaire, and not for the fact to sit at home and do nothing, but just to know that I don't have to worry about the bills and stuff, and I can retire when I want to, because I definitely would have to do something. I like to work and do things. Um, I should try playing the lottery. I'll never
Yes.
play. I
Well, you
don't
have
have.
to play in order to see if you're gonna
Yeah,
win. Yeah, you
yeah.
can't
Or as
sit back and think that it's gonna happen out of nowhere.
yes, for as much as I wish, it's like I might want to buy a ticket sometime,
Hey, you
but I
never know.
don't.
You might get lucky.
Yeah,
You might
well,
get lucky. But I
yeah.
always told my friend, it was funny that we're talking about that because I was telling her I need to go overseas. I need to go to like to Dubai or the Emirates and go marry a nice, sexy Arabic man and he has all the money and then I can go get facials all the time and do my hair. Do I, but then I'm like, am I really going to be a happy person? I don't know.
No.
I think I will be.
You think I'll be- There's some honesty for you.
I know. It is.
I would have to do something. I would have to own like duplexes and triplexes. I'd have to have projects. They'd have to be able to take care of themselves for a little bit. Like I would maintain everything like my family did growing up. I had family that did that stuff. So I'm familiar actually with doing that stuff. And I used to
Yeah.
spend my summers painting and doing stuff at their different properties. They owned the 6 apartments on Ridge Road years ago. It's not owned by them now.
Okay.
It's owned by someone else and it does not look good. And I'm like, man, I'd love to get my hands on those and redo them. But and rentals, we had houses on the water they owned and stuff. So I'd have to do something that didn't require full-time, attention. Like you go in, you fix it up, and then you rent it, and you hope, you fixed everything, and it should be fine in theory. I
Mhm.
mean, there's emergencies, stoppages, and things that happen, but I would know it would be paying for itself, and then I could be doing something else. So
Yeah, no, I mean, that's great. I would be getting my hair done and getting my nails done.
I would
And
probably be
I mean, to be
painting and playing in putty because that's kind of my thing.
yeah, or I'll be like, hey, Shar, look, come on, come over to my house and I've got jet skis now. Let's go in Dubai,
In Dubai. Are you
in
kidding me?
Dubai.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
No,
Dubai. My
yeah,
old
those are
boss and her
dreams.
husband went to Dubai. They were gone 20 some days and they started off in where did they start off at? I forget where they started off at. Australia, I think. And they ended up
Oh,
flying
okay.
over the North Pole. That was part of the trip. And I mean, they went to Vietnam, Singapore, Australia, and ended up in Dubai.
Oh, wow.
And they did falconry out in the desert. They had to wear the turban hat thing, whatever. I don't know what those are called. Don't mean any disrespect, but
Yeah.
and and their hotel was the one that's kind of it's on the water and it looks like a sail of a sailboat.
Okay.
And they took a helicopter tour off the top of that, but they would send me pictures, and it's like 15 Rolls Royces lined up outside. And he's like,
Oh,
so if I need
yeah.
a car, I can just take one of these. It's included in my room.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, yeah, and
And they're
it's all
like,
the high-end cars. It's all
it's
the
all,
high-end
well,
cars.
there was 15 Rolls Royces. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't, and I was like, no, nice. And room was 2 stories.
Oh yeah. It's like
Yeah.
not cheap at all, but you know
And
what?
no,
It's the experience and that's great that they were able to actually experience more than one country, which
yeah,
is wonderful. So,
yeah, that cost them like $80,000 that trip.
wow.
Yeah, can
Wow.
you imagine?
Yeah, you got to win the lottery for that. So,
Well, so funny story. If you live locally around here, make funnel cakes on the side. And it was actually used to be the recipe used to be patented and sold in all the NFL stadiums for years. And
mhm.
I don't think that is anymore. And it was a process I made in a Purina dog food factory.
Oh, wow.
So when I used to work part time for them and manage their boutique in Delaware, they were like, "Hey, you want to make some extra money?" I was always, I'm like, "Sure," and I would go pour and fry funnel cakes. So it's like at the Largo Central Park, Miss Marcia's Funnel Cakes or Mr. Bill's Fine Foods. That's them. And
Okay.
I would pour funnel cakes till the cows come home, and yeah, and flip them and cook them over a hot big fryer that, big
Oh
fryer. And
yeah. Yeah,
so
they're
you can still find them at all those events in Bel Air and Largo. They do all those still every year. And Christmas is their big one. It starts the night of Thanksgiving and they go all the way through New Year. So every day. So I would work 2 or 3 times a week after working at the clinic, sometimes even when I went back to work full time to help them out. But it's a lot. It gets to be a lot. So they did that and he plays the market, and there you go. They had a
oh,
patent funnel cake recipe.
that is awesome.
Yeah, and they did the
Yeah.
trip of a lifetime, and I was
Well, they
um
deserve it. I mean, they're working hard for it. So yeah, why not? And you
well,
only live
yeah, they're in
once,
their
so go ahead.
70s. They're in their 70s, and they did the trip probably 7 years ago or so. But yeah, they're in their
That's
70s
perfect.
now. Yeah, so
Yeah, why
I was
not
like,
enjoy it?
they would text me pictures, and I was just like, wow, crazy. So yeah,
Mm,
it was neat to see, though. Neat to see.
definitely.
Um, so someone posted, "Don't marry him. It's a trauma bond, not true love."
Okay.
So, what do you take away from that?
So it's a trauma. Say it one more time. A trauma bond.
Trauma bond, not true
Okay.
love.
Um, yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, I can understand that. I can understand that because if I can go back also and not be with certain people that I was with, I would probably be saying the exact same thing that she said. Because some relationships start out wonderful and great, and they're all about it. And like we have said before in our other podcasts, that all relationships take work. So, but sometimes when it's uh, trauma type of relationship, like you just need to step away from that. You don't need to keep reliving that over and over again. Um, but I hope this person that said that, I hope they're no longer in this type of trauma relationship.
Well, I know they were separated, and they've been separated for quite a while, and I'm hoping that she's taking care of the legalities. The sad thing is there is young children involved. They have 3 children. They're probably two of them. Well, there's a set of twins, and they're all girls. So when all this happened, I think she had a hard time because she was so in love with him. I think she was truly, truly, I mean, people obviously are hurt when certain things happen, but
Sure.
um, I think as she's gotten further away from the relationship and she's continued with her schooling and she works and she has these young girls, that she realizes and sees it differently now
Well,
than right
when
when she
you're,
first separated. It's different now that she's able
yeah,
to step back and see certain
what was
things.
happening, yeah.
Yeah.
When you're like 18 and 19 years old and you're in a relationship, like you're still young. You haven't really experienced the world yet. You haven't even really done anything for yourself yet. And so to kind of go into a quick relationship, the only thing that you know is love. So at the time, yeah, you're going to think, "Oh my gosh, I'm so in love with this person and they're so in love with me," and what have you, because that's all there is in that relationship. There's no living together, being married, taking responsibilities for bills, having children, doing any of that stuff. So it's a little bit different, and people change as they get older. You don't stay like the same person as you were when you were 18 years old.
Oh yeah, there's some part of you somewhere that's changing, or you know,
Yeah, definitely.
you know.
Definitely.
Someone else posted, as an 18-year-old, I was too immature, dating and having fun and super focused on anything. Our brains don't fully develop until our early 20s. I have a little bit of a disagreement with that. I definitely was not a partier at those ages. I had my son young. I was 22. I was not a partier. I owned my first house before I was able to legally drink alcohol. So I think my childhood definitely matured me sooner than others, where I had had my fill, even though I wasn't the one doing the drinking.
Sure.
But I know people that followed that same path. I don't think that applies to everybody. I think it's more generally people that are younger than us,
Yes.
because she's definitely younger than us, and that's not taking offense or trying to insult anybody or anything. I just think that for a lot of us, a lot of people I know my age, weren't still doing all this at that age. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Everyone's different, but to say that our brains aren't fully developed just because some book somewhere says, well, that's an average, they're going off of an average. That's different for everyone though. So
It is different for everyone. I was like you. I grew up at 18 years old. I got pregnant and had my child. So I took a lot of responsibility. But then again, I took a lot of responsibility when I was younger than that too, like 12, 13, 14 years old. So it's a little bit different. And when this person is, she's young now and responding, or do you know
she's young
her? Or she's
now. I know
okay.
her from the podcasting groups. She looks young.
So
She's
she's not
not.
our age.
No, she's not our age. She's
Okay, so
definitely
it's different time.
probably later 20s, early 30s ish. It's definitely different times and
Definitely
stuff.
different time. So, and I think in our time, I think we didn't have all this technology and the phones and all that. There's a lot of pressure with that. A lot of pressure with social media, a lot of pressure with all of that. So for her, maybe it's, the party thing was a way for her to get all of that in. Whereas in the other hand, when we were growing up, we didn't have any of that. So it wasn't like I had to go to a party or I had to do this or I had to do that. Now me, on the other hand, I couldn't do much of anything anyway because culturally, um, I couldn't be seen talking to a boy or I couldn't be seen out with a boy. Boyfriend, forget that. I don't even know what that is. So yeah. So culturally speaking, I didn't do much of anything. I'm not saying I had a horrible childhood. By no means, I did not. I was
No.
very lucky, with my mom and my dad and my siblings, and we were all raised, very well. So I'm not saying that it was bad. Different culture, different times
Well,
for me.
different culture, different times, also different experiences shape how you think you're going to raise or do things. And it doesn't always turn out that way. Everyone just, on average, does the best that they can with what they
Yes.
know. And sometimes life steers you a little differently and you have to adjust,
Yes.
and so nothing's ever set in black and white. And
No, definitely not.
for me, if I could go back and give my 18-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be? Again, it just keeps circling back for me. Stand on my own 2 feet
Definitely.
in every aspect of it. Stand on my own 2 feet. I've tried to tell my kids, don't get in too serious of a relationship young. Don't have kids too young. Not all listen to me, by the way. Travel, have some experiences, see the world. You know,
Yeah, that's
um,
very important. I agree with
I
you. I
I
think
think
it's
it helps shape you when you travel and
definitely.
see the world. So I've tried to say that.
Well, plus, you focus on yourself. You got to know your self-worth. Know
Mhm.
that you are somebody special. Each one of us is our own special person.
Yeah.
And we can do many things in life. Go experience your life when you're young. Go figure out who you are before you
Yes. Go
get
figure out
into
who you are.
relationships. Yeah,
Yeah. And I think someone else too, I was talking about the topic. Don't be involved with someone that needs mental help. Now, that's not to say there is anything wrong being with someone who has any kind of mental health issues, but they're coming from the perspective of the person knows they have mental health issues and they choose to be destructive to everyone and everything they come in contact with
Yeah.
and refuse to help themselves get better and stop hurting the people they love. So if you start seeing little red flags in the beginning of a relationship, they're saying don't stick around if they can't take care of it themselves and have said, I need help. And then, you know what? No, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing.
Right. Right.
Because you can't, it's like an alcoholic, you can't make them change. So until they take
No.
those steps and start making the changes and get diagnosed and get medications, um, you know, you can't change them. Then at that point, you've got to decide, do you want to deal with that? Because that is like the whole comment with being involved with someone with drugs and alcohol. You don't know what today's going to bring. And do you want to spend how many years wondering?
No, you're absolutely 100% right because I had a girlfriend who was involved with somebody who had issues, and it would literally drain her. It like took a toll on her just emotional being. And I was like, you're not married to this guy. Like, you can just go. And
Yeah.
I guess she's kind of like us, where she has the feeling like she needs to help or needs to fix it.
Yeah.
And I
And
explained to her, you can't. He has to fix it.
he does. And it's, there's nothing wrong with wanting to fix things. You just have to know what you're able to help with. There's a young girl at my work who was in a toxic relationship. She implied the other day that he was physically abusive as well. And he cheats and stuff. And I said, why are you
Still
why
there. Yeah.
are you there? I mean, and she'd been in tears that day, and because he's in the reserves and he was coming home from the reserves and he'd been gone so many weeks, and I think she kind of enjoyed that he was
Quiet
gone.
time. Yeah.
In so many weeks, and she just didn't have to worry about things. She was in peace. And I know last year she was in her square and there was crying and different things going on, and I have an weird intuition, so I already knew what was going on. And I didn't say anything. She didn't say anything to me. But several months back, I said something to her. The door kind of opened a little, so I just kind of stuck my foot in.
Yeah.
She calls me her work mom, anyways. So I took the opportunity, and so she's in tears at work on Friday and stuff, and stuff's happening. And she had to pick him up in the middle of the night from the airport. I'm like, you know, he's cheated on you how many times? So why is he not Ubering his butt home?
Yeah.
Why are you
Exactly.
getting up and driving to Tampa to bring him home and
Exactly.
stuff? And so she actually left work and went and got her stuff and got out Friday. I
Oh,
called supervisor. I said, hey, I really think you need to just kind of come by, see how she's doing. She needs support and things
she
need to
has
happen.
she has kids with him?
No kids. And
Okay. Well, good.
uh
Then it's still like a free gut.
yeah, and she had people, friends going, you know, we can come today with our trucks and get your stuff and get you out. So
See, and that's very important.
that is
That
important
is
because her parents are
that's
like 3 hours away, and
yeah.
she hadn't even told her mom and dad what was going on. I said, I won't say her name. I said, you need to let your parents know. So she was, I'm going to go make a call. So she went into the room behind me, and I could hear her, and I could hear her sobbing and telling her side of the story and everything. And her
Yeah.
mom simply said, you need to get out.
Yes.
You're not doing this with your life, you know,
Right.
and we love you and we're here. And if you want to come home type deal, come home, but you need to get out. So
How
she
long has
actually,
she been with him?
5 years.
5 years. Wow.
Hmm.
That's well good. Then don't waste any more years of your life. Go find someone who will treat you like the queen that you are.
I
And
told
and
her,
and it's
you
very
know,
important. You see how um we have learned, well, I have learned, and I'm sure it goes with you too, like you don't like the drama. I'm not a drama person. I like to be, have friends and everything. And it's so important to have those strong people with you so that they can stand by you, make sure that you're okay. Make sure that that bond is there and connected with those people because those are your true friends,
Yeah.
you know?
She came to me because she asked for the week of Thanksgiving off because we're already off 2 days, so she wanted to take the other 3 days. And she
Mhm.
says, I was thinking, I'm off Thanksgiving week. I could just wait till then and then I can sort through my stuff. And I looked at her and I said, you took it off to have a good time. Why would you drag this out? I said, how do you feel today? You feel anxious? Do you feel nauseous? And she's like, I feel this and that. And she said, yes, I feel anxious. I feel nauseous. You want to feel like that for the next few weeks? Every
Right.
day because of him? I said, no, go pack up your shit and get out. If
Exactly.
I didn't have to stay here, I'd take my truck and I'd help you, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah,
So
and
she was
so
staying with him, I take it.
they had an apartment together.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And she's like, well, there's 2 beds. And she had all these excuses. I'm like, stop. She says,
So
well, there's
what?
2 beds. She was, and she kind of tripped herself up. She's like, I don't know which one I paid for. She's like, one's like 20 years old and old. I'm like, well, if it's 20 years old, you didn't pay for that because you're only 24. So I
Right.
said, take the newer bed, leave him the box of bricks and get out. You
Right.
know,
Or go buy
my,
yourself a whole brand new set and start all over. Something that
and
doesn't even remind you of him.
well, you have to, finances are a thing. And
They
so,
are,
she said
yeah.
dishes and stuff. I said, I will buy you a box of Corral from Walmart white, set of 4 of everything.
Exactly. Yes.
They're $20 each, that doesn't matter. You can live on paper plates. Get your
Right.
clothes, get your dogs, get your cats, and get out. And so she did.
Good. I'm so proud of her. That is
I
the
am.
biggest step that anyone can ever take.
It is. I texted her Friday night. I said, I don't want to be overbearing. I just want to see how you're doing. She's like, it's been rough and I truly appreciate you and your support and love and blah, blah, blah. And then Saturday, one of my coworkers texted me during Saturday and they were like, do you know how she's doing? I said, I haven't heard. I plan on texting her later this evening. I'm trying to give her time to decompress and just kind of get used to being with her friends at her friend's house. And so I texted her last night. She's like, it was rough the first day, the first 24
Yeah.
hours, but she's like, I am so relieved and I feel so much better. And I'm so happy I took that step. So
So she
we
went to
try
a
to,
friend's house.
yeah,
She's
she
in a
had
friend's house.
friends. Yeah. She's
See,
like, you can, yeah,
that's how important friends could be.
yeah.
So stop
And
being catty out there, ladies. Be
I
friends and
know, but
support
I
each
was
other.
trying to, supervisors calling me. It's like, do you think you can get her to leave? It's like, how did this fall on me? And I'm like, I am trying. I am
Because you're her
trying.
mom. You're her
I'm
work
her work
mom.
mom. She says, work
Yeah.
mom. I'm like, yes.
Yes.
No one else
You're her
responds. It's
work
just
mom.
me. And she's a sweet girl and she's got a lot of potential. And she certainly doesn't deserve to be with some guy who's the same age as her, by the way, who uses the military and being gone as a reason to cheat. Who just, he has all these excuses. And I'm like, no, he's just garbage and you need to
Yeah,
not be
she's
there and you need to raise your bar and you don't deserve this. His
definitely
penis doesn't accidentally fall into someone else. I said, and besides that, he's bringing all that home that he slept with to you. Please tell
right.
me. And I said, but don't tell me that you're using a condom, making him use a condom.
Right, exactly.
Don't tell me, and then on top
Yeah.
of it, what's he thinking about? Is he thinking about her?
Yeah, I know.
Ew.
That's
Ew,
yeah,
ew, ew.
right.
And she's just looking at me. I'm like, don't even get me going. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Has he contacted her? Has he tried to contact her?
I
Did she say
imagine that
anything to you?
she hasn't said. I'm sure I will hear tomorrow if she's there. I'm assuming she will be there tomorrow. Um, but I wasn't pushing. I didn't ask because obviously she was with him 5 years, and last year she was wanting a wedding ring, and we're gonna buy a house together. And I told her, I don't care who you are, whether you're a bunch of women trying to get together and buy a house together because you can only afford it together.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're a lesbian couple. I don't care if you're boyfriend, girlfriend. If you're not legally committed, you should never buy a house with anybody.
Oh no, never, never.
No, I said
No.
that doesn't come just from me. That comes from like professional financial people that are like, don't do that. You have no
Well,
legal
no,
recourse, you
exactly,
know,
exactly.
and then you're out that money and it's just a big
And you're
mess to
not,
get out
and
of
you
it.
don't even have that house either, probably.
Yeah.
Because
And
probably
and
that person will go sour and they're going to get you for this and get you for that. And who has time for that? Yeah, don't do
and
that.
then so another interesting story about, we're trying to fix things. So I was trying to tell her, don't do that. That was last year.
Hmm.
um she was wanting a ring from him. I'm like, She's like, I'd settle for a cubic zirconia. I'm like, what is wrong with you? No.
A cubic zirconia.
That's
Honey.
where she ranks
No.
well, listen to the story. That's where she ranks herself. So what had happened was we actually had a patient swallow her wedding ring, diamond wedding ring. I
Oh
don't know
my
what she
God.
was doing that she swallowed the damn thing. So she came to the clinic. The doctor's like, we need to do x-rays. And we x-rayed it every other day for like a week and a half. And it did not move from this one spot. What's interesting is when you x-ray a diamond ring, the only thing that shows up is the metal, the band, and the prongs. If it's a real diamond, it will not show up on an x-ray. And if
Right.
it's a fake, it will show up on an x-ray. So if it's a ZZ,
It'll
it will
show up.
show up on an x-ray. So my x-ray was telling us a story, she's older. She's like, we all got engaged within like a year of each other, and everyone was x-raying their rings to see if they were real. And this one girl x-rayed hers, and it was a CZ.
Stop it.
She
What
went
did she
she went home
do?
with like a picture. Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I would have killed
So
him.
you men out there who don't know what your wives can see or not see that are techs and can use imaging
Or
does
have
not
friends
lie.
that are techs.
Yeah.
Or have friends that are techs.
Yeah. So if it's fake, it will show up
Yes.
in all of its glory. And
Well,
if
that's
it's
good to
real,
know. That's
if
good
it's
to know.
real, it's just the band. I said, if you come one day with a ring, I'm taking it back out back and we're x-raying it. And we're going to see. I said, and if it's a CZ, you're giving it back and say he needs to upgrade it.
Yeah.
So
He
he
needs
knew
to
all
do
this.
major
So
upgrading.
this is where this came out this week. She had kind of told him apparently while he was in training or whatever because he's in the reserves that she was done with his crap and blah blah blah. And
Mm-hmm.
so he came home that night and slept on the couch, and then Friday morning he's like, I got to go to work. And then it's the Marine's birthday. So I'm going to go out drinking with my friends. I don't want to talk about this today. I said, right there, set aside all the cheating and all the things, but right there, his work and drinking is more of a priority.
Absolutely. Then the relationship. Yeah.
Yeah. Than
Well,
her because
also a big sign is that she was so comfortable when he was not there and she didn't have to worry
yes.
about anything. And when you start feeling like that, it's time to go.
Yeah, you want to the guy that when he's gone on a work trip or something, trust him and that you miss him.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, you just
you
miss
want him
being
to
able
come
to have
back.
that conversation or whatever it is. You just miss him.
Yeah, and you can't wait for him to come home and that's what a relationship is. Not, oh,
Yeah.
I'm so happy he's not here and
Yeah.
I'm actually enjoying myself. So, yeah, no.
Yeah.
No. So
So
any
she
ladies out there that if you guys are in a relationship, please, there is always a way out. That you don't have to stay there. You don't have to be
no.
in a relationship like that.
I told her where there's a will, there's a way. If you have to go home, she says, I won't be able to work here if I go home. I said, well, you know what? There's other jobs, dear.
Absolutely.
You don't stay with someone who's cheating on you, who verbally abuses you, and apparently has physically abused you because of a job that is
Right.
you can go get anywhere at a hospital or someplace. I
Yes,
just
she
was like,
can.
you need to stop making excuses. She's like, I'm scared to take that first step. I said, I understand. I said, we're here for you, but I need you to take that first step. I can't help you because I'm stuck
No.
here.
Yeah.
It's
Well, she
my
has to
job.
help herself, like you
She has
said.
to help
She has
herself.
to be the one to take the first step.
So
You
she had
can't do it
multiple
for her.
friends. She had multiple friends. We can move you today while he's gone before he
Well,
gets
see,
back.
they stepped up.
Yeah.
Obviously, their relationship with her is more important than when him with her. So
Yeah.
that's good.
So,
That's good.
I
Well,
always
I'm
tell
very
myself I'm
proud
going
of
to
her.
stay out of it. I'm going to stay out of it. It's not my kid. It's not my problem. And there I am.
Yeah, well, but she came to you though, you know what I mean? So, and she did call you, her work mom. So,
I know I'm jumping in too first.
so,
So it is what it
well,
is.
but
And
I'm
then
glad she listened to you. So that's, kudos to her.
she said I needed that push in her text last night. I said, yeah, I know it's hard. I said, I know, I get it.
Well,
It's
she's
hard,
lucky to have you on her side then. Definitely.
but as coming from a house where it was verbally and physically abusive and he cheated too, except back then you didn't have all this technology. The women would just call the house and my mom would just hang up on them,
Yeah.
and I would see the look on her face, total change when she would answer the phone. It was one of the women looking for my dad and they didn't
Yeah.
care. I mean, at that point, you got to know your self-worth and you just if you don't want to be married to that person, don't be. And if you don't want to be in a relationship with that person, don't be. Life is too short.
That's
Again, we
right.
turned 50. Did you get the memo?
Which memo? Stop telling me I'm 50.
Just check.
I don't
Sucker
like those
came through.
memos.
I know. It was loud and clear. I'm telling you.
I know. It's okay. I think we're spunky 50s, so we're good. Our 50, it's not the normal 50 like it was back in years ago.
Oh gosh, no, it's
Our
not.
50
No.
is like very, very like, I don't know, 30. It's the
And,
new
and
30.
the thing is though too, everyone's like, well, it's just a number. I absolutely believe it's just a number. And I want everyone
It
to
is.
know that I don't believe turning 50 is the end of my life by no means, because I definitely feel better and take better care of myself now than I did in my 20s.
Yes.
And I'm in really great shape as far as that goes. And
Well,
I
you know
just am,
more now to take care of
uh,
yourself better too. That's all part of growing up. So
yeah, and I'm
that's good.
just disappointed at some of my choices of where I'm at in life. I
Well,
wish
I
that what
think we
I
all are at times, like there's a lot of things that I wish I probably should have and would have done
But
differently.
I'm not even talking about even like the question, if you go back to your 18-year-old self, I'm talking about mid 30s. I'm talking about 40.
Yeah, same.
For
Same.
me, I'm angry at myself for certain things
Mhm.
that I should have done sooner for myself than I have.
Yeah.
So that's where the number plays a factor for me. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, what are you going to do? That's
I'm gonna
life
fix it.
life. Yeah, you're going to fix it now. Yeah, because now you know. You know
You
that
know,
you don't have to like take the back seat on things and put everybody forward. So,
mm,
so yeah, that's good. You got to push yourself through. I mean, another thing
yes.
probably that I would tell my 18-year-old self is like, don't be afraid to fail because failure is a part of life. And you just,
Part of learning and growing too.
it is. And you have to kind of like just take that and learn and, like you said, grow and then use it to help others too
Do
as
it
well.
differently next time, or
Yes.
whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, you can do it again, just differently.
Right.
You can, and
Right. And
you
never
just
back down.
learn.
Never
Yeah,
back down. If you fail, just keep going. Keep going. Do it
yeah.
again. Do it again. It's okay. Things happen and happen for a reason. If you're failing, it's for a reason and then you just keep going. Either you have to
Well, and if
fix
you
it
don't,
or, you have to move on. So that's
if
it.
you don't try and you don't fail, you can never succeed either. I mean, everything you
Correct.
do doesn't come with success the first time you do it. You have to go through the process.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
if you don't try, you never know either way.
Yeah, no, you don't know. And you got to keep trying. You can't give up.
Yeah.
That's the thing is you
So,
can't give up. Although sometimes right now I feel like I do just want to be done. I just want to like sit in my to be honest with you right now, like I just want to sit in my rocking chair. Can I please sit in my rocking chair and just do
you
my
have my permission
crochet?
to sit in your rocking chair.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
You've earned
I
it,
just want to crochet and I just want to like live my life. Watch stupid freaking TV or go out to the beach or go on vacation or just do whatever I want.
The downfall to that is the money. Well, it takes money and it goes
Yeah.
quickly. And if you don't have a magical money tree, which I don't, so if you have the secret to that,
Don't you?
I
Don't you
don't.
though? Yeah, I don't either.
Honestly, people are like, what would you do if you won the lottery? I'd keep my house. I would remodel it.
Yeah.
Um, it would be paid off. It would be remodeled. I definitely wouldn't move and go anywhere because I'm 2 minutes from the launch ramp. And, as much as I want to be
But
back
there's
on the
no need.
water,
Yeah,
as
there's no
much
need.
as much as I want to be back on the water, I don't want to pay over $1 million to do it, which is where everything's
Absolutely.
at. So I much rather take that money and travel and go spend 3 weeks
Months.
in
Yeah.
Italy, and then go over here for 3 weeks and then go over
Yes.
here,
That is my
and
dream.
eat the food and see the sights. Those are my top two
Yes.
priorities.
Well, that's one of my dreams too. But you're right. Monetary value is what's keeping me from doing that.
Yeah,
But
it's like life is short. Go see the world, man. There's so much to see. Don't base it on political beliefs or what someone else said. Go see for yourself. See if you like it or not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You know, I
yeah.
don't do things based on what people like. Some people are really picky about certain things, and and me, I like to see, and I'm like, yeah, it's worth coming back, or it's not. I was fine, but I'm happy I saw it. Then it's my choice.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And that was, a moment that you can never get back again. So, and at least you went and did what you wanted to do, and that made you happy. And that's it.
Yes. So many people tell me it's like, why do you go to New York? It's so dirty. It's also has 20 million people in just the city alone. So it's going to be dirty because everyone's a slob. But besides that, I go for the food and I go for
Right.
the experience. And I'm happy walking 30 miles a day down the road
Oh,
looking at
man.
everything. I don't
Yeah,
want to
but
see
it
it from
was
the back of a
fun.
taxi. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. You get to
We
see
did it and it
everything.
was fun and it was a blast.
And I'm happy to do it again. I'm ready to go. I usually go every 3 years. It's been 5 years since we've been, and I'm kind of bummed, but
Hmm.
here I am.
Yeah. Well, COVID was in between that. So you can't
COVID
count
was,
those two
and
or 2.5 years, was it? Three? Something like
something
that.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And eat the food and go see a show. We saw Aladdin. That was excellent when we saw
That was
that.
so fun. Oh my
It
gosh.
was
That
such a
was
good
great.
show. And the theater is beautiful. I love going to the theaters there because it's not like when you go to Ruth Eckerd Hall and you're like, okay, these are plain tan walls with some
Yeah. Well,
acoustical stuff.
that was my first Broadway show, believe it or not. So I had
Was
never
it?
gone. Yes,
Oh,
I
no, it
had
was not.
never gone.
Oh,
Never. That was
I've
one of
seen.
my dreams that I wanted to do, that was to go in and see a Broadway show, and we did it. So that was great.
Yeah, yeah. I always try to hit a show when I'm there. So I've seen Phantom 3 times. I've seen Mamma Mia there. I've
Hmm.
seen Wicked. I saw Aladdin,
Nice.
Book of Mormon. That's awesome,
Book
by
of
the way.
Mormon. Yeah. Yeah.
So funny.
I
Yeah.
bet.
So I've seen those, and
It
I'm
was a
ready to
lot of
see more.
firsts. It was a lot of firsts with me. I took my first train ride to
Hmm.
come and see you there. The first Broadway show. So yeah, it was fun. It
And
was
then you took us to all the cool restaurants.
I'm adventurous in that kind of way.
Yeah, no, we had authentic Lebanese food. You just ordered, and we didn't understand what you were saying because you were speaking Lebanese or Arabic,
Yeah.
and we just waited for the food to arrive, and we just ate it, and it was amazing. I mean, Holly was like, "We need to take her again."
She's
Stuff just
all about the
arrived.
food. Yeah.
We are all about the food.
We are though, but we did have great experiences in different restaurants that we
Oh,
went
we did. We
and
did.
ate at, and they were all, good in
They
their
were
own
all
way.
good.
Yes, I
Yep,
don't think we
they were
had
all
any
good.
bad food
Oh
there.
no, I've never had bad food in New York City. No,
Yeah, I
not
don't think.
once.
I mean,
Well,
even that diner that we went to, remember the one with, is it a diner? I think it was a diner. The one where they danced and they got up and they danced and they put on a show while you were eating.
that was the diner. That
Yeah.
is the diner near Broadway. So everyone in there that waits on you and serves you is aspiring to make it to Broadway. So they perform, which is how they practice while
Mm-hmm.
you eat and drink. And it is the what something diner, Stardust Diner. And it's been
Stardust,
there
yes.
for years and years. And I've been in a few times, and there's always a wait, but it's always entertaining. And they take lessons and practice to be on Broadway, and some of them should be on Broadway, and they sounded pretty good. And someone's like, you need a few more lessons. Here's a 20.
Yeah. Well, aspiring.
But yeah, that's the Stardust Diner. That's
Yeah,
what
but
that
that
is.
even
And
that food over there wasn't disappointing. So,
oh
I
no,
mean,
it was
yeah.
good, and we had a good time. And on the video I have, you're sitting there waving your napkin out.
Yeah.
Like, woohoo!
Yay.
Yeah, that's a
I
lot of
like
fun. This
I like the fact that they get everybody involved too as well.
Yes,
So,
they're a lot of fun. And so if you
yeah.
go to New York City, you definitely have to check out the Stardust Diner. It's a lot of
Yes.
fun.
And
The
walk
food is
around.
good.
Don't
Just walk
take
around, man.
Yeah,
Don't
don't
take
take
taxis and
Ubers and
Ubers. You got
all
to be
that
on the
stuff.
street, and people just walk in front of the taxis. That's part of the adventure. Everyone goes. It's like, I'm going.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't care
it.
if I get hit or
Keep
not. You just got to go.
keep walking. Keep on
Just keep
going.
walking. So yeah, the Stardust Diner. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad you said that. Yeah,
It was.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That was
Okay,
fun.
well,
That
where's
was a
our
good
next
time.
adventure we should go, to where
I've
figure
been
out.
trying to get to Italy. I've been looking. I've looked here and there, but you can stay at hostels or monasteries for cheap, like 50, $60 today. And I just need a
Really?
clean place to sleep. Oh yeah, all over those
Oh, then
places, all over.
why don't we do that and stay in a monastery? That'd be awesome.
You know, they just ask that you're respectful. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm here to see the
Well,
sights and stuff. I'm not going to
man.
throw a party. Maybe I will.
Well,
I don't know.
I'll go in and pray with them too. I'll bring my rosary and everything. I'm good with that.
Yeah,
So,
I can hang
yeah,
out with
why
them. That's
not?
fine. Check it
Yeah.
out. Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, so that's one way to see other countries inexpensive is to stay in the hostels and the monasteries where they're 50, 60, $70 a night, US dollars today currently. And, you know,
Well, that would be a lot of fun. I'm down for that. You just let me know when
but
we're going.
I had a customer patient. She goes to Italy regularly and she stays on the coast. And she told me where she stays. I have it written down, probably at work. She's like, it's like 77 a night US dollars. And you're just
Mhm.
a minute from the beach. And then she's talking about all the different ways you get around town and how inexpensive it can be. And then someone else told me if you're at a restaurant and there's no pricing, don't eat there because it's
Oh.
mafia owned. This is what I'm told. It's
Oh.
mafia owned and the prices can be whatever they want them to be that night. And if you
Okay.
don't have it to pay, you're not making friends. So I don't know how true that is or not in this day and age. I don't know if you have to do dishes or how that works. Um,
Oh, yeah.
no,
I no.
but honestly, no matter what country you're in, if
I
you're
don't
at a
even know what to
restaurant,
say.
I know I'm sitting here listening to this person. I'm like, wow, really? I could get offed over what? A burger? I don't know.
Over for a burger, right? Over some pasta.
Or some pasta. So yeah, that's what they said. They said be careful when there's no pricing and you ask about pricing. They're like, no, it changes every day. That's why.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
I
I was
didn't
like,
know
oh,
that.
really? So I don't know how true all of that is. I mean, they can't just go around hurting everyone. But I mean, I don't know. It's not my
No,
place.
they
I'm not.
can't.
I'm
And
definitely not speaking evil of the mafia.
right. And
I
what
am.
part of Italy is that anyway? So I
I
don't
am
know.
half Sicilian, so it might be there.
There you go. Could be there.
Could be there. I know how I was
Could be
raised and what
there.
I was told, but we'll leave that out.
Yeah. You're Scarface. No. The
Me and my
Godfather.
cousin, we actually talk about how we were raised and what we were told growing up our whole life. So yeah, so I don't know, but I won't eat at any restaurant that doesn't have the price on the menu because I
No,
need to know
no,
what it's going to
please.
cost me.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but I talk to all my patients, especially the ones that travel, and we have really great conversations. And funny enough, I met a patient, she's 82, and her name is Charmaine Marie as well. And she's half Sicilian as well. And she's like, you need to go and you may not want to come back. She says, I'm having a hard time coming back each time I'm back. So I took my picture with her because you never meet any other Charmaine Maries that are half
Right.
Sicilian.
Right. Go figure.
Yeah, I was
How
like, are you?
unique was that moment?
Well, I wasn't even near her. I heard her name and I was like, and they're like, what's your middle name? She's like, Marie. And I'm sitting there going, no. So I had to look.
That is
And I'm like, I'm
crazy.
sorry, excuse me. Did you just say your name, Charmaine Marie? And she's like, yes. I'm like, that's my name. She's like, no.
Yeah, and
She was
Sicilian,
hugging
half
me.
Sicilian.
And she was hugging me and she was thrilled. She's just the neatest. You never know she's 82.
Oh, that's awesome.
Maybe
That
it's the
is awesome.
Sicilian genetics. I don't know. But
Probably, yeah, brought you two together.
yeah, well, just looking good at that age, so.
Yeah,
But
of
yeah,
course.
so uh, that's what I would tell my 18-year-old self again. Stand on 2 feet, go out, be adventurous, do the things you want to do, see the parts of the world you want to see.
Yeah, definitely have fun with your life. Don't wait for
Yeah.
anything. Don't jump into relationships just because you feel like you need somebody in your life. Go figure out who you are and live your life. That's it.
And when you say don't jump into relationships, it's not only about because you think you need somebody, it's also don't do what's expected of you if that's
Yes,
what's expected
yes,
and put on you by family or pressured.
yes, definitely. Yeah, that's an important thing too. Yeah,
You
definitely.
know, times have
Yeah,
changed.
they have changed a lot. So, I don't know.
Yeah. But that's
Yeah,
all I have, my dear. That was it.
okay.
And
Yeah.
I'm so happy there's no echo.
Oh,
We
I'm
have
excited. I'm
we
so
we
elated.
we look high techie. We have headphones on.
We do
They
look
came
high
with the kit.
techie. Yes. Oh, and did
They
you know there
came.
was another Jack?
Yeah, we're not even going there. We're not even going there. You can just leave that out.
Okay, we shall leave that out. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it though. I was like, oh my
Well,
God, wait till I
I
show
thought it
her.
was in one of those clear plastic packages because I was pulling out a bunch of those that I saved from other boxes of other adapters and things. I'm like, it's not in here. Did I put it somewhere different? No, it was hidden, but we won't go there.
Yeah. Well, and I thought it was on the bottom of the box, you know, the inside of the box. And then
Well, that's where I looked too.
I flipped it around and I'm like, okay, well, there's nothing here. She said mine didn't include it either. And then I'm like, this is weird. Yeah. But it took just a little
And my thought
unscrewing.
was, she's going to have it and I'm not going to have it. And you're
Yeah,
like,
and we both
didn't
have
include
it.
it.
Guess
And we
what?
both have it. So live and learn.
Live and
So
learn.
thanks
See?
for the advice on the mini jack. I do have a spare. That's fine. That's great. It was $5. Not heartbroken, but
No,
they were
no.
attached, hidden under the bigger version. So there you go.
Yeah, well, it's okay. We might need them for something else. You never know, because if we're gonna have guests and stuff like that on, you know, we might need them to hook them up in a different
We
kind of way.
are. And I
Yeah.
want everyone to know that we are. I have someone that's going to be a guest who's going to talk about, and again, we are a no judgment free zone.
Definitely.
We do not walk in anyone's shoes, so we cannot say how they feel, what they think, and what they've experienced. So I have someone who's going to come on and talk about her affair.
Yes.
So, and we're not going to mention any names.
No.
And
And we only get positive comments. We don't want any
mm-mm.
negativity, you know, with this here, because we're not here to promote any sort of negativity.
No, it's
So,
about supporting one
supporting.
another and you know, there's
And
a lot of
helping.
emotional stuff that goes along with that. It's not just I'm out to do this. There's never, that's I don't think really truly always the case. I mean, imagine with some it could be, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But she's going to come on in the next few weeks. I have to get some gear for her, and she volunteered actually to do it, to come on. So I
Yeah,
like
and I
her.
have another one coming on too as well. So probably some weeks after that.
Yeah.
And then you know, we'll have other subjects and things that will bring other people
So
in.
yeah, she's a nice girl. She's hardworking, and she does have a heart of gold.
Mhm.
And again, not everything's so black and white. And I'm not saying this is for everybody. I'm not saying it's even for me.
Right.
But, you know, well, clearly I'm not, but I'm just saying, you know, we're just here to support and help and just
And
be there for her with whatever decisions come down the road for her. You have someone that's going to come on and talk about female circumcision, which is god awful horrific.
Yes.
And she volunteered to come on, which kudos to her. And I've done a little bit of research on it, and it's god awful terrific, not terrific.
Yes.
It's god awful, just awful. I mean, it's amazing,
It is. It's
and
crazy.
especially in this day and age, with the amount of women or girls that have had that done to them
Yes.
at a young age.
Yes.
So again, there will be no judgment, no criticism, no snarky remarks about that, because she is forever scarred.
Yes, definitely.
And there's always that one person, and I don't want to hear it. To be quite honest.
Right. No, I don't want to hear
We're
it.
not going to hear
We're not
it.
here
We're
for
not gonna-
that. No, we're
We're
not.
not here for that. These females are brave in their own right.
Absolutely. Just for coming on and explaining their situation and letting us learn from it.
It's also therapeutic for them to be able to talk to someone who doesn't criticize them or judge them for it.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I don't walk in anyone's shoes but my own.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we look forward to having both of them come on, and I hope, you know, you guys that are listening also look forward to that soon. And I think we are going to do another podcast where we just kind of talk about everything and anything, right?
We are. I would like to have one of our mutual friends on for that and kind of do a online pour it out thing. If you've ever watched Sweet Magnolias and they do a weekly, three girlfriends who do a weekly pour it out, we can't do that because Pascal's airfare would be astronomical. But we can do it on here.
Yes.
And so
That's
I'm
gonna
going
be
to
a lot of
talk to
fun.
her in the next day or two about her. She did say she would. She volunteered the other day to come on as well. And she had, I kind of had volunteered her months ago. So she knew she was coming on anyways, but
Okay, perfect.
she's going to come on too once we get our other gear. I'm going to be ordering this week, and that way the sound control that we finally have control over works once we figured it out. Yeah. So, but and
Yeah,
that'll
so
be
that'll
about
be a lot of
anything and
fun.
everything she chooses. It's just how we chat sometimes before we
Yeah.
get on here. We just talk about it.
We
Just goes from
do.
one to, and we're all over the place. But that's how
We are.
women are.
Yeah, we are all over the place, but we can do that in our heads, you know.
We
So,
can.
yeah.
We can.
So, and then we
So,
come back
yeah.
to the same subject again. So we're good
So
at that.
we apologize for it some, but not always.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But yeah, so we appreciate you guys listening, and look forward to our next episode in the following week. Shar will go ahead and upload that, and hope you guys enjoy and continue to listen to us for many, many futures to come, hopefully. And then I'll pass it on to you to let them know where exactly we are that they can listen to.
And if we hit the lottery, we can do it from whatever country we're in.
Oh my God, that'd be fabulous.
Just saying.
Yes. Hey, we might take you guys on a trip with us too.
Right.
We will
Then
definitely video it and take
I would
you
have
guys
to get
with us.
a Mac laptop.
Yeah. We could use mine.
That's where my everything is. But
Yeah.
So again, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook as always. Then we are on Pandora, Amazon, iHeart, Deezer, Apple Podcasts, Samsung. There's a bunch of them. We're on all of them. It uploads to, I don't know, 14 or 15 of the major platforms.
Yeah.
Some are national. So you can find us.
Look for
And that's
us
it,
there.
my dear.
Look for
You
us
can find-
there.
We're
Oh,
never
and by
too
the
far.
way, we appreciate all you international people that are listening to us too.
It's
I know
very
that
cool
Shar,
to see.
isn't it?
It is. I see them
Oh,
pop up on the
man.
map. It's cool.
Yes. So
Mhm.
thank you so much. We appreciate you guys also. And if you have
Absolutely.
anything you guys want to listen to on your end, please let us know in the comments below. Other
Or if
than
you want
that,
us to revisit anything because the relationships seem
Yes.
to be a huge hit, just
Yes.
let us know, and we're game. We have a lot to say. You can tell.
we talk a lot, don't we?
We do. I talk all day. You think I'd be
Yeah.
tired by now? With all
but
the
we talk
patience.
about different things. That's why. So
Yeah, and we
but
have
yeah,
a lot of history, so
we do.
yeah,
We do.
we have a lot
Yep.
to say. So, but that's it from us tonight.
Yeah. You guys have a wonderful night, and we'll check you out next episode.
Yes. Good
All
night.
right. Good night.